No.
I'm a civilian.
You're a civilian.
Yeah, you shoot or rob me, I'm telling.
See, but niggas might not treat you like that, Vlad. I'm not gonna lie.
It is what it is.
Niggas might hold you up to a high standard.
I'm living my truth.
Niggas might hold you up to a high standard.
I'm not gonna go shooting back at you.
You got a couple niggas indicted.
No, I didn't get anybody indicted.
You got a couple niggas indicted.
I didn't get a single person indicted. Who did I get indicted?
Hey, Arab. Shout out to Rose for doing what he did to you a few years back. Vlad the Impala. Fucking exploitive bitch ass. Man, let's continue.
I get indicted.
I ain't about to open another indictment on who you indicted.
My name is on no paperwork. Nobody got indicted.
Realistically, it's a such thing as it's bait.
It doesn't have to be on paperwork. And when they were talking about BG, do you know that he spoke about the art of war? And the art of war is heavily regarded around psychological warfare. It's called being deceptive, Vlad. It's just like one of these pimps said in your interview. People like you, or the myth known as white supremacy, and white supremacists use deception.
Like there's such thing as bait. You're a baiter. You feel me? Like you're a baiter. So you not. Of course you wouldn't take the bait for. You wouldn't say I got anybody indicted, but you fish. No. You feel me? You fish. And some of some of my peers and some of some of the people that sat in their seat aren't. I wouldn't say smart enough, but you feel me? Aren't fast enough. You know what I mean?
No, you don't have to be euphemistic now, bro. They aren't smart enough. And this Negro fucked up, though, by saying that, following the no snitching policy and the whole logic behind if you were there and you are some eyewitness, then therefore you are a snitch by proxy. That is bullshit. If you are a part of the crime syndicate and you know that you aligned yourself within that atmosphere of criminology and criminal activities, then yes, and you get caught and then you tell on the person that you were involved with to the authorities, then yes, you would indeed be a quote-unquote snitch. But I like how he's pressing this white Jew Vlad. Let's continue.
Aren't witty enough or aren't intelligent enough to know when it's bait being swung their way or when they're supposed to dip the bait, you know what I mean, type shit. So hell yeah, you're definitely...
You just said that they're not witty enough and not intelligent enough and not that they're not stupid. You see what I'm saying? Double talking now, bruh.
You know when they say unknown CI? Like, it's you didn't do it, but hell yeah.
I mean, I don't work with the police.
I get his sentiment, and you may not directly work with police. But let's continue.
Oh, no, of course not.
I don't take the stand. I don't. If the police ever try to seize any sort of footage, I would deny it. I would fight it.
You don't got to. Go straight to YouTube.
Yeah, whatever. You're right now.
Vlad, he knows that he could get these foolish rappers, especially one of these little hood niggas, these domestic terrorists, gang banging ass dudes on his platform. He's gotten Herb on there. He's gotten Dirk on there. He's gotten former Crips on there, Crips and Bloods, and just like I was stating when I was coughing, AR-AB on there, and they go around speaking about the lifestyle. And you don't think that people don't keep up? Just like when you work at a job, you don't think that your employers aren't looking at what you put within your Facebook status? Well, it's the same thing. When you reach a certain stature in this world, you have individuals like the authorities, like the law enforcement, who will keep up to date with what you do. Just like how you said, oh yeah, just like you're going to say in this interview, oh yeah, it's not like they just look at Vlad TV, they look on Instagram, but you don't think that you wouldn't be included in that category of that outlet to dysfunction? Fuck boy, Vlad the Impala, over the so-called black community. And the funny thing is, as far as Jewish people goes, where do you think the word ghetto comes from? It comes from the Hebrew term, especially when it comes to when Hitler had the whole Nazi Germany and a Third Reich regime, and he placed those German Jews in those ghettos. Fuck you mean? I guess when it comes to this cybernetic Babylon, you would be like the reincarnated version of Maya Lansky, Vlad. Just from a psychological place. From a reverse psychological place. Because what you're doing seems like you're giving these black men a platform, but you're really fucking them over. You're really just perpetuating dysfunctionality. Yeah, you'll throw in Rakim. Yeah, you'll throw in Big Daddy Kane. Yeah, you'll throw in Grandmaster Flash and people who started the foundation of hip hop. But when you look at the whole spectrum, when you look at the grand scale, you look at it numerically, collectively, what do you see? You see a whole bunch of fuck shit. Let's continue.
Wearing a microphone under your shirt. There's another microphone pointing at you and two cameras pointing at you.
That was up to me.
Whatever you say is totally up to you.
No, but
and when you say no comment, I go on to the next question.
That I fully agree with you, but see
and what does the next question usually revolve? Some fuck shit about their personal lives. And the funny thing is, you don't even like to get into the music like that. But then again, this is where dudes like that Vermin Academics got his blueprint from. He got it from you. This is where dudes like Charlemagne, when Lenny used to be on your platform, got from you. Fool.
But when you said I get people indicted, I don't get anybody indicted. I don't get nobody indicted. I'm going to put my foot down on that one.
Nah, listen, I respect it. I respect it. You feel me? Like, I respect you. And I'm not saying that, like, you don't sign nobody paperwork. You understand what I'm saying? But from a consumer standpoint, from somebody that's in the street, you know what I mean? Like, in a certain world, and, you sit back and you watch somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you're a trickster. You know what I mean? You could.
Well said. You are a trickster, Vladimir. You came into this culture out of nowhere, selling mixtapes, being a DJ, and now what do? You perpetuate fuck shit. You have strippers, you have porn stars, you have vixens. And since we're on the subject of strippers, look at Cardi B. You've had her on there too. And now this bitch got caught up confessing to a whole bunch of crime-related matters. I'm not saying that Vlad in this particular instance with Cardi is the reason, but you don't think that he didn't help elevate her career by putting this bitch on your interviews? Vlad, you don't have constructive conversations the way you act like you do. A lot of your shit revolves around dysfunctionality. It revolves around black people supporting things that are counterproductive. And the funny thing is, you are a white Jew. You go around exploiting. Just like how the NAACP, like Stephen Wise, one of the founders of Zionism, exploited the fuck out of black people when he founded the NAACP with that cooning-ass commie known as William Edward Bogart Du Bois. Fuck you mean? You are in the same boat and category as them. The Stephen Wises, the Jacob Schiffs. Let's continue.
Trick people?
A person that isn't fast enough to keep up with what's going on. A person that can't speak, you know what I mean? That everybody doesn't speak well. Everybody doesn't. When the light's on, you know what I mean? Everybody isn't. You know what I mean? So, granted, a motherfucker...
In other words, you don't get brothers out there very often on Vlad TV who are astutes. Yeah, you're going to talk about Lord Jamar. Yeah, you're going to put on Godfrey. Yeah, you're going to put on a few brothers out there who have more of a head on their shoulders. But ultimately and collectively, you're going to have a bunch of fuck shit on there. Just smiling. That's why Joe Budden checked your ass. Rick Ross checked the fuck out of you, the fake Rick Ross. Let's continue.
Could sit here on their own.
Well,
a person could get tangled up in the Vlad TV TV interview.
Well,
Many did. I believe there was a battle rapper just like you, Sue Surf, named Disaster. AR Ab. Little B even went on Vlad, and Little B Vlad always took pride in supporting Little B. Even Orlando Brown went in on him. Do you not see the paradigm? Do you not see the pattern? It's not a fucking coincidence with this fucking Jew.
Put it like this. Some people that have interviewed with me have gotten arrested after the fact. But it was never because...
But hold on, Vlad. If you know this, doesn't that contradict everything you just said about who got indicted due to your content? If you said right after, so obviously there is an effect and there is a contributing factor to what you do within your content by your own admission. Let's continue.
Interview came out and suddenly they get arrested. They get arrested for whatever illegal activities they end up doing.
Just end up on Vlad and then just...
No, and then...
Yes. Come on now, Vladimir. Come on, DJ Vlad. My man Vlad. Face ass.
You know, the police are going to look at the whole thing. They're going to look at everything they put on Instagram. They're going to look at all the interviews they do. They're going to look at
the interviews they do, including you.
Everything as a whole, right? They don't just look at Vlad TV. They'll look at everything, you know? I never talk about anything that any...
Yeah, they do look at everything, but who's the one that likes to expound on criminology? Ding! Vlad TV.
Anyone is actively doing. We'll talk about a situation like yours that
it
happened. You know, if you did your time, and then if you pleaded guilty to it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's any situation that was in the past statute of limitations, we'll talk about it. But I'll never say, so what illegal activities are you doing right now?
Because you're smarter than that. Get your protocols of Zionism face ass out of here, Vlad. You're so full of shit for that statement. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Give me your take on it, and I'm out. Imagine, Vlad, how would you feel about people putting out your personal information out there? I mean, I'm going to showcase what I mean by that. I can do it anyways. This Negro Tommy decided to take my thumbnail without my knowledge or consent. I didn't know till after the fact. So, like he always says to me, like he always says in his interview, and he says to his audience, it's fair use, nigga. Fair use, nigga.
The address was 18401 Oxnard Street, Van Nuys, that's spelled VANNUYS, California 91411. 91411. That's where it was. So you may be able to look online and see what it was. The place was no bigger than the current room that I'm in.
So it's like an apartment building type of place?
No, it's a place where you go, office buildings.
Okay, I get it now.
He just had the smallest of the office buildings.
You didn't have no security in there?
No security. I walked in on my own. I just walked in. The dude was setting up. When I went in there, he said, Vlad's not here, and I'm setting up. And so I went across the street. There's this place where you can eat. I went over there, and then I came back. He said it was Vlad there, but he said, sit down for a minute. We can't find chairs. So I waited on them to find chairs. It took about 40 minutes. Then we started, and then Tyreek showed up. Now, Vlad did call me, and people ought to know I'm shady as fuck. I record every conversation in which you call me. So Vlad did call me, and I record the phone conversation, and I am going to put it up this week.
I hear that. That was just weird. I wonder if he used that place frequently.
Apparently, that's where he shoot from.